Steve Barker from Raw Leadership coming to share with you another insight, another tip or hint or hack around leadership. And today what I want to share with you is the importance of values. We hear about businesses, companies having their values very clearly defined. And let's just take a few steps back and have a look at what a value actually is and why it's so critically important. Now, in our own personal lives, we have our own core values. If you were to cut me in the middle, you would see curiosity, compassion, integrity, and excellence. Those are my four core values. Now, because they're so important to me, what I do is every decision that I can cognitively think about, I will put through those filters. And when I put it through those filters, what that means is that I'm making the best decision for me based around the four key elements in my life that are truly important to me. Now, when I make that decision using those filters, I normally get a very, very good outcome because it's aligned with who I am. It's integral to who I am. Now, this is how people make decisions. Think about a value within your life. Think about one thing that you think is truly important to you. And then think about all the decisions that you've made in the past based around that. Some people value family. Some people value integrity. Some people value freedom. There's no right or wrong around values. But it's really important that we have clearly defined, separate values so that we can make good decisions, informed decisions. But also, we can hold ourselves accountable to that. But also, they act as boundary conditions as well. For example, integrity, one of my core values, is doing the right thing at the right time. That's the little story, that's the belief after it. Which means if I see somebody dropping $5 on the street, I will run up behind them, pick it up and tap them on the back. If I see $5 sitting on a floor by a cafe table or something, I'll pick that up, take it into the cafe if I can't find the person who's dropped it. That's doing the right thing at the right time even when nobody else is looking. It also means that if somebody starts to connect with me and they don't have that integrity and they let me down, they lie to me, they tell me mistruths, they don't turn up when they say they're going to turn up, that becomes a warning flag for me because that person's probably going to grate with me. So I will have a chat about it and see if we could resolve it. But this is the key point. When we're clear on our values, we choose who's in our life, who we want to be around. Now, this is the same with business values. Now, the problem that we have with business values is they're very often come up with by the business owner or the board. And those are the values that are important to that one individual. But if we want the whole team to take on board these values and then to be able to make informed decisions around that value so that they all lean and start heading in the same direction, then we've got to come up with values that are important and are valid by our team members. Now, this is something that I find very often. I go into businesses and I see the values and I will ask the business owner, who came up with the values, and they very often go, well, I did, I'm the business owner. Great, okay. Do your team understand what the values are? Do they understand what that language means? Does that mean anything to them? Are they aligned with it? Do they believe in that? Because if they don't, they're not going to use it to make decisions when they're out there on their own, working on their own, or dealing with situations, or dealing with clients or customers. They're just going to make the decision that they think is best aligned for them. And this is why it's critical that we ensure that the values that we choose, and where possible, I really encourage you to actually bring in your team to help them language the value. I do values elicitation workshops all the time. And once we get a team aligned on the values and everybody's making decisions around the same things that are important, what we see is everybody starts moving towards the same direction. Now, this becomes really powerful. The other key element around values is we can hold people accountable to them, especially if they've been involved in the development of values. So basically what I mean by this is if somebody's made a decision, what I will say to them is, hey, Can you help me understand how you made that decision based around the core values, maybe the 4 core values of the business? And if they can, I'm like, okay, cool, talk me through that. But if they can't, I'm like, well, didn't we come up with these values together? Isn't this something we all agreed upon? And they generally go, yeah. And you go, so I'm interested, I'm curious, why are you not thinking that way? Why are you not putting your decisions through those values? So it becomes a tool that we can use to be able to hold people accountable. Now, in leadership, most people will shy away from holding people accountable because they think they're going to upset them. So this is a beautiful framework where we don't become the baddie as the leader. We're not the baddie. It's the value that is the baddie. But it's something that we've all agreed to. It's something we've all signed up to. So, there's a lot to do with values. I talk about values as part of my coaching. I have a whole framework around values. I have a whole workshop around it. Like I say, I go out into businesses and we do values elicitation from the business. Now, I've been to lots and lots of businesses where they've had their values for many years and nobody knows what they are. And in one case, I actually spoke to the business owner and I said to him, can you tell me what the values of your business are? And he's like, integrity is one of them. I don't know. We have them on the wall when you come in. Did you see them? And I'm like, mate, you're in charge of the business. You should know what the values are. You should be able to repeat them to me verbatim. Because if you don't know those values verbatim, how the hell are you supposed to make a decision around them? And I said, and that means that your team haven't got a flipping clue either. And he was like, yeah, I suppose so. And this is why we had the team going off on tangents and making weird decisions and not aligning so that they could all move in one direction. So I went in there and we did a values elicitation. Because they'd done the mural on the wall, we used the same words, but we actually talked about what those words mean to the team and how does that look on a day-to-day basis and how can they make decisions around that description on a day-to-day basis that's going to align everybody and bring them all coming in the same direction. So, if you've got your values already there, that's totally cool. One of the tips that I would give to you about values and the little short catchphrase afterwards: keep it short, keep it simple. Because if you don't, people will not remember it. I've been into businesses where I've looked at their values and it's like, at Wilson and Son Cooperative, we value integrity. And integrity for us means dealing with the clients and talking to our team members and doing everything and da-da-da-da. And it's like war and peace, the description. And it's very wishy-washy. It needs to be very clear and concise. Like I say, integrity, doing the right thing at the right time, even if nobody else is looking. Curiosity, a healthy dose of curiosity to all of my thoughts. Compassion, am I bringing compassion to this conversation or this situation? It's a simple yes or no. Excellence, am I striving for excellence in everything that I do? Again, it's a simple yes or no. When I have those values, they're very clearly defined in my head, but so are the little catchphrases afterwards. So keep it simple, keep it short. If you need any help with this, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help you. But I just wanted to raise your awareness around why a value, a business value, that thing that you have on the wall that's underneath your mission statement and your vision, and then you have your values, all that stuff that you have that everybody seems to think you have to have. Well, these are very clear. These are very, important, because if they're not clear, they're about as much use as toilet paper. So, like I say, have a think about your values, because if you as a business owner don't even know what your own business values are off the top of your head, just like I've just recited my own personal values and my business values, then you're in for a world of hurt, because you are going to be losing money hand over fist, because you're going to have people making decisions, different decisions, based on what they think is important, not what the business thinks is important. Okay, so I've gone on a little bit longer than I normally would, but I hope that you find this useful. I hope that you find it valuable. If you do like these hints and tips, please head over to my website, www.stevebarker.com, because there is my podcast. There is also my resources page. It's jam-packed with free insights and tips and hacks like this. So, coaching doesn't have to be expensive. You can get a lot of information for free. And my competitors hate me because I keep saying, Steve, why are you giving it away for free? And I'm like, because I'm here to help people. I'm not just here to pay my bills. I want to help people. I truly do want to be able to do that. All right, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're up to, I'm going to wish you the remainder of a very good day, and I'll be back again with another tip very, very soon. Toodaloo.